classifications. Next, periodic properties. Under that, maybe radius or radii. Next, remaining periodic properties, ionization energy and factors affecting, electron affinity EA and factors affecting, electronegativity, and last one, valence air oxides, acidic character. Okay, these are we are going to discuss mainly. I think so. Classification, you know very well. Modern periodic table classification. How many groups? How many periods? Yes. If any important points, we can discuss. Fine. I think so. Classification we don't want to discuss here. Total 18th group, 18 groups. And how many periods? 7 periods. So 7th period is the incomplete period. We know that one. And 18 groups, you know. So some important points about periodic table we will discuss. Second, what is the diagonal relationship? Anything you remember? Diagonal relationship. Sorry, diagonal relationship. I think you know second period elements showing diagonal relationship with third period elements. Okay, those are lithium, beryllium, boron, and corresponding one sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon. Okay, so these are showing diagonal relationship. What is the main reason? Due to they have almost same radius as well as ionic potential, which is we call charge by radius ratio. Ionic potential. What is the main reasons? Ionic potential, that is nothing but charge by radius ratio, and almost they have same size. A reason, if you are going across the period, size will be decreases and down the group increases. That almost matching magnesium size going to be lithium. Based on this property, we have similarities when we are studying inorganic S block elements and P block elements. They have some similar properties due to diagonal relationship only. For example, lithium nitrate, if we are heating, and magnesium nitrate, we are heating, we'll get all these points. And lithium is supposed to be similar with sodium. If I'm heating NaNO3, I will get here NaNO2 plus half O2. But in this case, lithium nitrate, if you're using La2O plus NO2 plus O2. Okay, I think so there is no chance. If you are taking 2 moles, you can find here 2 NO2, so 4 oxygens and 5, and one more is there, half O2. So here NaNO2 you are getting, but here Li2O you are getting. So this is similar with magnesium oxide plus NO2. Here, we are heating, we are going to be get. So this property is indicating diagonal relationship. Same way, NaNO3, NaCO3. Still now our experience, these are not going to be dissociated under normal temperatures for Na2CO3. But La2CO3, we can get easily Li2O plus CO2. Magnesium carbonate, you can heat, will get MgO plus CO2. All these are because of diagonal relationship. Clear? You may can study later in groups also. So, but idea purpose I am giving. Clear? And they said here some more points. Third period elements are called typical elements. Okay, make a note on that point if you want. Third period elements are typical elements. Those are sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, chlorine. Reason remaining elements are going to be follow these properties of sodium. For example, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. So all these elements following properties of sodium. That's what we call typical elements. Say magnesium, which is they contain magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. So remaining elements follows these elements. That's we call these are typical elements. And which period they contain all block elements. So sixth period, some important properties about periodic table only. Okay, sixth period contain all block elements. Those are S, P, D, F. All block elements will present in sixth period. Clear? Next. Which is the most electropositive elements? Most electropositive elements in the periodic table. Electropositive elements. First A group. And most electronegative elements. Electronegative elements. Seventh A group elements. Next. Mostly these are any other things. How many gaseous elements are total in the periodic table? 11. Okay. Total gas elements 11. Those are including hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, plus noble gases. Here, number of liquid elements 6. We are expecting number of liquid elements. Liquid elements is 6. Cesium, francium, gallium, Hg, Br, U, UV. U means how much that value? 1. Okay. V means 2. So the element going to be 112. Atomic number 112 UUV. So 6 liquid elements. Wait, see. Is there any first period, any p block element? The first period? I hope no. So these are the some points about periodic table. And any important points about lanthanides and actinides? Okay. Anyway, lanthanides are radioactive elements. In that case, promethium. I think so. PM is the only synthetic element. 61 atomic number. Only this is the synthetic element which is radioactive in nature. Promethium name. These are lanthanide. Okay. Only PM is a synthetic radioactive element. And actinides next. We can study later also again. Actinides. All these are man-made elements. Okay. In this case, except thorium, protactinium, Pa, and uranium. Except these three, remaining all are man-made elements. That's we call these are man-made elements or synthetic elements. Clear? Okay, fine. Then periodicity, you can come to the back. Periodicity. In this case, we have to know one thing: screening effect. After that, you can go all the radius followed by one by one. Screening effect or screening constant. You can find out Z effect actually. Z effect is the effective nuclear charge. Z minus sigma, meaning this is the nucleus. They have some electrons, outer shell. Assume that one. These are, we are using always Bohr's model to explain easy this is. So whenever nucleus attracting, okay, it can attract only up to some level. Whenever they are going to be attract last electron, inside electron can act as a screen. So this nucleus may not be, nucleus can't attract last electron, same level of attraction like first electron. Something will be reduced by inside electrons. Something is going to be reduced by inside electrons, which is that stopping. That's we call sigma, screening constant. How much that going to be stopped? That's we are going to be discuss here. Okay, something going to be stopped. That is sigma. That is screening. So indirectly, this is a nucleus. If you are taking electrons here, so all these are the electrons. Outermost electron they can't attract perfectly. Inside electron going to be acts as some wall. So something going to be reduced. They can't reach up to the end point. That's we call screening or screening effect. You may can say shielding effect also. That screening effect order we are giving. Try to note down this is even previous questions also. Screening effect order is for S orbital have highest screening effect. Next P orbital. Next D orbital, F orbital. So this is the reason D and F orbital have less screening effect. That's the reason they are going to be show lengthened contraction, actinide contraction. Whenever screening effect is less, so Z effect going to be increases. Z effect increases means they can attract very strongly outermost electron. Whenever they are attracting, then automatically size going to be decreases. So Z effect whenever increases, attraction will be increases. When attraction increases means we can't remove that electrons easily from outermost shell. Then that can affected by ionization energy as well as electronegativity also and reactivity also that going to be affected. I think so. Screening effect over. If you want calculate, we have Slater's rule. How to calculate screening effect? We have Slater's rule. By using Slater's rule, we can calculate. So mostly valence shell, nth shell electrons contribution with respect to sigma value. We are calculating sigma. What's that value? 0. That contribution is 0.35. Valence electrons contribution towards sigma calculation. If only one s orbital is there, in that case 0.3. The remaining orbitals, how much you can take this, sir? 0.35. Nth shell. Okay. If n minus 1 shell electrons they are participating, this contribution is 0.85. Then n minus 2 onwards, this contribution is 1. You can try to calculate nitrogen screening effect. Nitrogen screening effect. When we are going to write calculate screening effect, first write 1s electronic configuration, 1s2, 2s2, 2p5, sorry 2p3. So these are the one category. This is one. You can take this is n value, valency shell. This is n minus 1. So nth shell, how many electrons is there? When you are calculating, you have to left one electron because we are going to be calculate screening effect with respect to last electron. Okay, except that electron, remaining electrons can act as screen remaining. So whatever that is. So last electron we have to remove that one. We should not consider. Remaining electrons can act as screen. That's we need to calculate here. Clear? Now can you calculate for nitrogen? Sigma value, sigma equal to how much n electrons here? 4 electrons. 4 into how much each electron contribution? 0.35 plus n minus 1 electron how many? 2. So 2 into how much? 0.85. So this is your sigma value. Once we calculate Z effect equal to Z value how much for nitrogen? 7. 7 minus your sigma value. So that's the screening effect. Make and practice for d orbitals also means d black elements. Yeah, we can. This is the Z effect completely. If you have any doubt, we may can send chat. We can discuss that is. Now atomic size or atomic radius. You can see atomic size or radius, whatever you can take. Here we have first one. Last electron you should not consider. If you are considering last electron, then with respect to whom you are calculating Z effect, that's why you have to leave one electron. So I told very clearly here. Here we are calculating with respect to one electron. Remaining only can act as screen. So I need to calculate here Z effect with respect to last electron. Remaining all inside electrons going to be act as screen. If you are considering that is also, then with respect to whom you are going to be calculate. You can't. So last electron you have to leave. Suppose 8 electrons, 1 electron you have to leave. Remaining 7 going to be act as screening. If 20 electrons, 19 can act as screen, 1 going to be act as, 1 is with respect to that. So n minus 1 electron. 1 electron you have to remove, then remaining acts as screen. Clear? I think you know these are atomic size, covalent radius. I hope you know that one. Half of the distance. Huh? Covalent radius. Next, you may can find here ionic radials. I am going to write ionic radii. First, we can discuss covalent means suppose FF bond length they will give pure bond. Half of the distance we call covalent radius. Okay, are equal to distance of same type of atoms by 2. So if heterocyclic atoms is there, covalent bond only heterocyclic. So distance of AB atom equal to radius of A plus radius of B. I think so these things you know. And ionic radius is the electrostatic force of attractions. These are cation plus anions. And size of the ions I hope we'll discuss here, which is I minus have more size. For example, iodine, I neutral, I plus. So anions have bigger the size, cations have smaller the size. When they have same number of electrons, we can see E by M or Z by E ratio. Clear? If more the protons, more the attraction. Less the protons, lesser the attraction. That's simple logic. Can you find which is the big size here among this one? Fe, Fe plus 2, Fe plus 3. What is the order of size? Which is the bigger size? I. Okay. So size inversely proportional to positive charge on the atom. Okay. And then more the positive, lesser the size. More the positive, lesser the size. You will get the direct questions from this chapter. There is no exceptions. But problem you remembered or not, that's only thing. Direct questions you will get. If you want, you can try 2019 and 20 questions, direct questions. So we can see order directly. So Z by ratio inversely proportional to size ultimately. Okay. Mean I'm giving here, you can find ionic size S2 minus S2 minus Cl minus argon K plus Ca2 plus okay. So argon have you can find argon is the lesser the size of S2 minus and Cl minus. Okay. Next one N3 minus O2 minus F minus neon now. So neon is compared to F minus, neon size is less only. After that Na plus Mg2 plus Al3 plus. Okay. So I think so you know that one very well. Metallic, I'm giving complete van der Waals radius means I hope you know that one van der Waals radius also. So between two molecules, for example, Cl2, Cl2, these are two molecules, they can attract each other. Half of this attraction, nothing but van der Waals radius. Mostly van der Waals radius you are applying for noble gases. Keep in that point. Van der Waals radius you are applying for noble gases when they're existing solid state or even generally. So mostly are applying noble gases van der Waals radius. Clear. So what the size here? Van der Waals radius is the highest one first. Can I give van der Waals radius first? Then metallic radius for metals, and next covalent radius. This is the order. Now I can write van der Waals force of attraction directly proportional to molecular weight or atomic weight. So which suppose you have two different things and Br2 I given as well as Cl2 I given. I'm taking two Br2 molecules and two Cl2 molecules. Which one have more van der Waals force of attractions? For example, Br2, Br2. This has some attraction. Even Cl2, Cl2. So this point unnecessary with respect to radius, but still, which one have more attractions? So Br2, Br2 have more van der Waals force of attractions. You can write van der Waals force of attractions directly proportional to molecular weight or atomic weight. Higher the van der Waals force of attractions, we may can say more boiling points. Br2 and Cl2, which one have more boiling point? Br2 due to higher van der Waals force of attraction. We may can say that word. Then factors affecting atomic size. This time giving that is orally. You can see atomic radius inversely proportional to effective nuclear charge. Is it correct? atomic radius inversely proportional to Z effect. Higher the Z effect, more the attraction, lesser the size. Factor 1. Okay, factor 2 you can take. Anyway, atomic radius directly proportional to n value, which is the more the n number of shells. Okay, number of shells. Next, third one, screening effect. So atomic radius directly proportional to screening effect, that is sigma. Higher the sigma means bigger the size, and even you can write atomic radius inversely proportional to magnitude of positive charge. Okay, right? And directly proportional to magnitude of negative charge. And other one, bond radius or bond length inversely proportional to bond order also. Okay, atomic radii inversely proportional to bond order. More the bond order, lesser the size. Clear? So we know that one down the group atomic size increases or decreases. Down the group atomic size increases due to number of shells increases. Across the period atomic size decreases. Fine. But some exceptions is there due to lanthanide contractions. We can say that one. I think so. D block elements also already discussed that one. Zirconium, hafnium, all these things, and their size exceptions. Okay. Try to find those things. And aluminum and gallium, which can have a bigger size. Aluminum and gallium. Okay. Almost they have both same size. Aluminum and gallium, they have almost same size. Can note down that point. There is one exception. They're asking frequently questions. And supposed to be across the period copper to zinc across the period, the third period elements across the period supposed to be atomic size increases or decreases? Decreases. But copper to zinc atomic size going to be increases. Copper to zinc atomic size going to be increases. That's the one point. Okay. And one more point, iron to nickel almost same atomic size, almost same. Iron to nickel atomic size almost same. If possible, you can note down. So in the periodic table, which is the smallest anion? Which is the smallest anion? So we are giving F minus and H minus, which is the smallest anion. So you can note down F minus is the smallest anion. Which is the smallest anion? F minus. Smallest anion F minus. So we know that one. That's are going to be discussed again in that case. Lanthanides and actinides 3D series. 3D elements 4D, 5D. 3D to 4D atomic size going to be increases, but these are almost same. They are not going to be increases. 4D, okay, as well as 5D size almost same. What is the reason? Due to lanthanide contraction. Due to lanthanide contraction. So this is the reason titanium, zirconium, hafnium. These are the order third period, fourth and fifth. Zirconium anyway big size because size increases, but these two going to be almost same. Titanium, zirconium, hafnium due to lanthanide contraction. Clear? Suppose I am given nickel, copper, zinc across the period. This is nickel, copper, zinc, which is the big size. Zinc. Okay. Same order which is given nickel, copper, zinc. This scandium to manganese atomic size decreases because across the period this is size decreases. Iron to nickel, almost same, almost same. But this also decreases, but these two, less than manganese, all these things. Copper to zinc, size increases. So reason, can you explain? Anyone reason? Very simple reasons, all these things. Z effect only. Z effect equal to sigma. If sigma value and if more the sigma value, lesser the Z effect. When you are taking electrons, scandium to zinc, here number of protons increases as well as number of electrons also increases. Clear? So when they are going across the period up to manganese, clear, Z, which is screening effect, is very less because number of electrons is less. That's why screening effect is less. That is the reason Z effect is more. Z effect is more means size going to be decreases up to this. Size decreases. Reason number of electrons is less. Manganese after that. Iron to nickel. Almost, which is screening effect, increases well. Now screening effect start to increase and Z effect, which is attraction, also increases. Which is Z increases due to that electrons, Z increases as well as screening effect increases. Net value almost going to be cancel each other, both how much they increases that. That's the reason Fe to nickel have same size. Net attraction and protecting character both increases same amount. That is the reason Fe to nickel same size. But still we are increasing electrons across the period, then screening constant increases. When screening constant dominate than attraction, then automatically size going to be increases. That happened copper to zinc. So more the electrons, so they have bigger size. Clear? So because of this reason, whenever they have bigger size, they can't fit in crystal lattice properly. That is the reason all zinc family have less boiling points. All the zinc families, but they have highest radius. So can you give answer here, which is given? Nickel, copper, zinc. This is the size. If I am going to give scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, which one have? Sorry, V only, vanadium. Which one have bigger size here? Scandium. Scandium to manganese atomic size decreases. So this is the size order. Okay. Fine. These are the radius. Next, ionization energy. You can go directly ionization energy. We are getting most of the questions from here also. Ionization energies. So definition, we don't want all the things. I hope already you know that one. Ionization energy. Or ionization potential. The amount of energy required to remove electron from outermost shell, which is isolated atom. Clear? That is the ionization energy. So metal to metal plus, then M2 plus, M3 plus. This is very classical thing. So this is IE1, IE2, which is highest. IE3 is the highest value always. If more the ionization energies, that is the higher value always. Okay. So you need to supply more energy to remove because number of electrons decreases, but positive charge increases. When you are increasing positive character, atomic radius decreases or Z effect increases. When Z effect increases, ionization energy also increases because they attract very strongly. You can interrelate everything Z effect. One factor you can find perfectly, then remaining easy. So this is the ionization energy order. Here we need to supply energy. You can see factors affecting, which is ionization energy. Ionization energy directly proportional to Z effect. Higher the Z effect, higher the ionization energy. Ionization energy inversely proportional to atomic radius. And one more thing, penetrating power. So the penetrating power, the electron which is moving towards nucleus. So S orbital can move that character. Penetrating power, okay, or penetration power. Penetration power is more for S orbital, P orbital, D orbital, and F. So you can remove electron easily from these orbitals, not for S orbital. Those are strong attraction towards nucleus. Clear? So here most of the questions we are getting, write the first ionization energy order, second ionization energy order, and one more thing, ionization energy directly proportional to half filled electronic configuration or full filled. Okay, full filled electronic configuration, that depends upon full filled electronic configuration. So I hope you know D5 P3 is more stable configurations, and P6 D10. We may can apply F7 F14 also, which is they contain orbital, those are fulfilled half filled. From remove these orbital electrons, very difficult. We need to supply more energy. That is the reason nitrogen have more ionization energy, first ionization energy, IE1. IE1 is more for nitrogen than oxygen. IE1 is more for beryllium than boron. So this is common, all these things. Even you can apply for next elements also, phosphorus, sulfur also. So you may can apply magnesium and aluminum. Which one have highest? So I'm asking magnesium and aluminum, which one have highest IE3 value? IE3. Which one have highest IE3 value? Magnesium or aluminum? You can say share with your answer with box, that is chart. IE3 of magnesium aluminum, which is the highest? Can you give anyone answer? Through chart also you can share your answer. Only one element symbol you can write, magnesium or aluminum. Which one have highest IE3 value? Are you people are listening or sleeping? Huh? Highest IE3 value. Correct. Magnesium. Fine. So reason I hope you know that one. After removing 2 electrons, Mg2 plus will get inert gas configuration, but Al3 plus Al2 plus doesn't get. Still I can remove electron from easily aluminum. So magnesium is the highest IE3 value. These type of questions you may can expect. And one more important across, I think so you know that one, Fe more the positive charge, more the ionization energy. Fe3 plus and Fe2 plus, which one have highest ionization energy? This is okay. IE value. Oxidation state also, which one have higher the oxidation state, those have highest ionization energy. More the ionization energy means atomic size should be less. You can apply that point. Otherwise, highest the positive charge means higher the Z effective also you can apply. We know that when across the period ionization energy increases, down the group ionization energy decreases. Again here exception is aluminum and gallium. Clear? So aluminum and gallium, they have almost same ionization energy. Same. These are the exception points. Even they asked number of times these questions. Aluminum and gallium have almost same ionization energy. And when we are going to discuss previous also given titanium, zirconium, hafnium. So this is the size order. The size is same, but here number of protons is more or less more. So it should have more ionization energy. This is 3D series, 4D series, 5D series. So some of the 5D elements have more ionization energy than 4D. But we are expecting down the group ionization energy should be decreases. Is it correct? 3D to 4D will be decreases, but 4D to 5D almost same or little bit increases. So HF have more ionization than zirconium. Keep in mind. Okay. So due to lanthanide contraction, nothing. So third group elements ionization energy order we are giving. Boron is the highest ionization energy. We may can see values also, but I'm giving rough values based on values, which is I have that one. TL, thallium, gallium is almost greater than or equal to aluminum, then indium. Okay. Assuming supposed to be thallium going to be least ionization energy, no, that is not least energy. These are the ionization energy order. So across the period, ionization energy increases, correct? So higher the ionization energy, we can have some applications. These are applications of ionization potential. We can move very fast this little bit. So which one have low ionization energy? Low ionization potential means we can supply less energy, can remove electrons. Means those are high metallic character. Higher the metallic character. Then I hope you can find out highest ionization energy means non-metallic character. You can find out, and reactivity order also you can find out. If which one have lowest ionization potential, those can access strong reducing character, strong reducing agent. Okay, reducing agent. Which one have lowest ionization potential, those can access strong reducing agent. Meaning that is metal. So for example, cesium, I need to supply less ionization energy, then that convert into cesium plus and electron. The releasing electrons means that is reducing character only. Na? So you may can say in terms of ionization energy, which one have less ionization energy that can access strong reducing agent. Okay. Then this ionization energy, based on ionization energy values, they give stability order. If they have IE1 and IE2, difference between these two ionization energy differences, they given approximately if ionization potential is more than or equal to 16 electron volts, if more the difference, more than 16 electron volts difference is there, then +1 oxidation state is more stable. IE1 means +1 oxidation state, IE2 means +2 oxidation state. Clear? So +1 is more stable. These are roughly anyway, you won't get that much things these are, but still. If IE1, IE2 difference is IE1 and IE2. Difference, ionization energy difference is less than or equal to 11 electron volts, then +2 is more stable. Okay. So you may can find out which one have high electropositive element, they can form more basic character metal hydroxide and sodium and potassium. This is more electropositive. So KOH is more basic than NaOH. Okay, like that we have questions you can find. Then electron affinity. I think so. You know electron affinity. Same definition. We are adding any metal gas state isolated atom by adding one electron, we'll get M minus. So in this case, which is energy or releasing or absorbing, doesn't matter. That's we call. Suppose releasing means we are going to be write electron affinity energy, any energy this is fine. This is maybe sometimes you need to supply energy, they won't take. That depends upon M state. If this is stable electronic configuration, then you need to supply energy, then that is going to be positive character. If that is not stable, means that will take electron easily, so that energy releases. Even based on electron affinity, you have problems. Then mostly they're asking, I given one statement generally, third period elements have, third period, you can write, period elements have more electron affinity than second period elements. Electron affinity order. That is the reason we are going to say oxygen and sulfur. Sulfur have more electron affinity. Fluorine and chlorine. Chlorine have more electron affinity. Reason, due to small size inter-electronic repulsions. But my question is here, I'm going to give which of the following is, I think so you noted down this point, third period elements have more electron affinity than second period elements. Clear? Chlorine and fluorine, you know, this is so many times the given question. Which of the following is true regarding electron affinity? Oxygen have more electron affinity than sulfur. Then sulfur have more than oxygen. You can take multi-correct. Huh? Then even selenium have more than oxygen. Even fourth. Tellurium also more than oxygen, which is true. Which of the following is true regarding electron affinity? Make and refer NCERT book. I think so. 2, 3, 4 is correct. Not only these are, I think so that value is less than, oxygen is less than remaining elements also. This is your NCERT book table question only. So you make and expect this type of things. Generally, we are going to be stop sulfur and oxygen. You can think about next step also. That is my intensity. So all these are maybe correct. You can find your NCERT book. 16th group elements you can see. Electron affinity means attracting power of electrons. I hope 17th group elements they can attract very easily electrons because they need one electron to get into gas configurations. X plus electron to get X minus. So second group element they have highest electron affinity. Is it correct? Highest electron affinity. Because they need one more electron, then automatically they can take electron affinity going to be more for them because they can release easily energy. So here Z effect is directly proportional to electron affinity. More the attraction, more the electron affinity. Mostly which is they have electron gain enthalpy is some elements have positive also. That positive elements which is you can note down inert gas elements and alkaline earth metals and nitrogen. These are three cases they have electron affinity is positive electron affinity, which is that is inert gas elements, alkaline earth metals, and nitrogen. Yeah, we can wait few more minutes. We can close this chapter. So almost we are ending. And these cases, suppose we are asking electron affinity, sulfur, oxygen. So electron affinity order. We are giving sulfur, oxygen, phosphorus, nitrogen. Which one have more electron affinity? Same as it is order. Okay. Electron affinity order. Same you can apply for carbon and silicon. Which one have more electron affinity? Can you answer? Carbon and silicon. Only two options are given. Carbon and silicon. Which one have more electron affinity? Can you send through SMS? Carbon, silicon. Which one have more electron affinity? So anyone? Yes, silicon is. I think so. Now only given third period is more. Electron affinity and ionization energy magnitudely equal. First electron affinity and first ionization energy. Okay. Value is equal, but sign is opposite. Electron affinity and electronegativity. Sorry, ionization energy. And last one is electronegativity. Even electron affinity down the group decreases across the period, increases. That is a common statement. And that factors already which is a given, which can attract easily electron. Those have highest electron affinity. The next step is factors affecting electronegativity. I hope you know that one electronegativity nothing but which can attract easily electron. That character only, relative character. There is no units for electronegativity. And here electronegativity inversely proportional to size or directly proportional to Z effect. And hybridization also already know that one, sp, sp2, sp3, which one have more electronegativity? Sp character, because more the percentage of S character, more the electronegativity. And suppose I am asking here Fe3 plus, Fe2 plus, Fe, which one have more electronegative character? Which is the small size that have more Z effect or not? So this have more Z effect, it have more electronegative character also. So down the group electronegativity decreases, across the period electronegativity increases. But here again some exceptions is electronegativity also. Gallium have more electronegativity than aluminum. See, with respect to gallium and aluminum, we given too many exceptions. Those you have to remember every case. Clear? Which is the element, highest electronegative element? Fluorine. So based on electronegativity difference, we can express acidic character, basic character also we can discuss. We will see later. You need to take some break, I think so. So MOH, only 1 point. If electronegativity difference is M and oxygen is more, then I can break easily here, we'll get M plus and OH minus. This is basic character. If O and H electronegativity difference is more, I can get MO minus plus H plus. This is acidic character. Here O and H electronegativity difference is more. Wherever more difference, that bond is going to break easily. That will decide that is acidic or basic or that character. Hope you can find this point. You may can refer my previous notes also. If you have my class notes. And acidic character already you know which is the strongest or weak acid. Down the group, suppose more the oxygen atoms, more acidic character. Is it correct? For example, SO3 and SO2, you can find. And this is one more H3, PO4, sorry, PO3, H3, PO2, H3, PO4. Acidic character you can find out. Maybe order. Which is the strongest acid, you may can decide. I think so. Class notes are given. You can find out this acidic character if possible. So I'm expecting same order. Is it correct or not? You can find one more time from your class notes. Acidic character. Yeah, this is the correct answer only. Acidic character, keep in mind. So exceptionally correct order this is. I think so. Remaining, you know that one HClO4, HClO3. So those I am not going to discuss. Acidic character more the oxygen. You can see next class some problems based on this. If possible, try to write all amphoteric oxides, most like given previous class. We can learn. Next class we'll discuss. If any other concepts you need, let me know. We'll discuss. Okay, stop now.